Tori here with today's December daily video. Today I thought it would be really fun to do my reason why page or my intentions page, and I thought it would be cute to print it on some vellum. And then when I did that, I got really excited because it looks so cool, and I figured out how to print on vellum. So then I printed some other things on vellum. So today I'm going to show you like my reason why page, but I'm also going to show you two other vellum projects that could be really fun for you to do in your December daily. So first of all, I just put this through my printer and it worked perfectly. And this vellum is really pretty. I don't know what brand it is, but I got it at my local scrapbook store, and it's like frosted, but it has like sparkles in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think you can. And I just love the way it looks. And so what I did was I typed up the writing that I wanted for my reason why page, and then I just sized it so that it would fit on 6x8 page, and then I just went ahead and printed it through my printer, and I love it. So this paper is 8.5 by 11, so it's a little bit larger than the size that I'm using for my December daily, but that's okay. I'm just gonna trim it down. So what I did was I grabbed a page protector for my December daily, and I just made sure that it fits, and it does, so it fits perfectly in there. And then I'm going to trim this down so that it's the right size for my December daily. So you could do this one of two ways. You could either trim it down so it's 6x8, so it just fits in the page protector, and just put it in a page protector, or you could do what I'm doing, and I am going to be trimming it down a little larger and just punching holes in it and actually just putting it into the album like this, so not in a page protector. So in order to do that, what you want to do is figure out what the size of the page protector is, and you want to include this edge here. So I know that the page protector is 6x8, but I don't know what this extra part is, and it looks like it's about 7.5. So I'm gonna trim my paper down to 7.5. I also want this to be centered, not off to one side. So I'm gonna probably cut off 1/2 inch on the one side. Okay, I'm not really good at math. If I was good at math, this would be way easier, but we'll just figure it out as I go. I'm gonna cut off 1/2 inch off this side. And you could keep that strip if you wanted to use it. So that'll give me the side part. And then I can cut the rest off the other side and it'll be about centered. So, want it to be about 7.5 inches. Trim off that excess. And there we go. So it's probably not exactly centered, but it's fine with me. And then it's too long, so I need to trim it the vertical way as well. So I believe that this should be 8. It should be 8 inches, but it's actually 8 and a little bit. I wonder why they made the page protectors too big. Okie dokie. 8.5. I would like extra on the top. So I'm gonna trim it there. Perfect. Perfect. That way it's the same size. There's a little extra up there for me to decorate. Perfect, perfect. Okay. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna punch the holes in the side. So I have a 1-hole punch that I'm going to use. Also just gonna use a little piece of tape just to help me adhere it down while I'm punching the holes. So using one of the page protectors in the album, I'm just going to tape it down to the page protector just momentarily, just to help me keep it straight while I'm punching the holes. Yep, I'm also going to do just a little piece at the top as well. This will just keep it straight while I'm punching the holes, that way it doesn't shift around, because the vellum is really slippery. I don't know if slippery is the right word. Maybe slick. Yeah, slick's a good word. And then, using the page protector, I can see where the holes are, and I can just punch through the holes. Using my one hole punch. Perfect. And then I can just carefully peel it off the page protector, taking the tape off, and it is ready to go in my album. Now, I don't want it to go in my album just yet because I actually want to add a little bit to it. I'm going to decorate it because I can't put anything in just plain. And I decided not to add to the top my reason why or the word intentions. However, you totally could. I decided instead to just decorate it, and part of the reason I wanted to decorate it was because earlier this year I purchased this amazing gold joy word that is in Jasmine Jones' handwriting, and I got it at Studio Calico. And I knew that I wanted my reason why this year to be about joy, and that I also wanted my one little word for 2016 is going to be the word joy. Typically, I pick my one little word in December, not in January, and I use that one little word for December daily, and then it sort of leads me into 2016. So, it's just uneven, and I was wondering why, and it's because there's a bunch of buttons underneath it. So, I'm going to use this one little word at the top of my writing here. Love that. And I thought it would be nice to just keep the embellishments pretty simple, but I wanted to add a little bit more to it. And I have these Tim Holtz Ideology mirrored stars, which I am just loving. I've already used them on a couple projects, and I thought they would be sort of cute on here, along the edges and along the top or whatever. I don't want to use too many of them, but I thought they would be sort of cute here. Yeah, I really like that. I don't know if I should use, I used two there. Like odd numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like odd numbers, but I think because there's 3 clusters, it sort of fits my odd number desire. So there we go, and then that's done. All I'm going to do is use my hot glue gun just to adhere these, and just use a little tiny dollop of glue on the back and stick it down. And there you go. I've got my reason why page all done and ready to go in my album. So while I'm gluing this down, I thought I would just read to you what my reason why page says, because it's probably too small for you guys to read it on the camera. And I know some of you are probably wondering what it says and what I said about the word joy. So let me just glue this down, and then I'll read it to you. So I thought it would be a good idea to start with one of my favorite Bible verses about joy. And it's found in Psalm 92, verse 4 to 5. So it says, "For you, O Lord, have made me glad by the work at your hands. I sing for joy. How great are your words, O Lord. Your thoughts are very deep." Psalm 92, 4 to 5. As I remember the reason for this season, I can't help but be filled with joy. Christmas joy is the kind of happiness that bubbles over and flows into the nooks and crannies of my life. There are so many things going on in this world which can cause me to worry or have fear, but December reminds me to be joyful. The dictionary defines joy as the emotion of great delight and happiness caused by something exceptionally good and satisfying. It also says that the source or cause of keen pleasure or delight is something or someone greatly valued or appreciated. This kind of joy only really comes from knowing that Christmas isn't about all the glitter or all the lights. It isn't about the presents or the decorations. It's about Jesus. Psalm 126, verse 2 to 3 says, Then our mouths were filled with laughter, and our tongue with shouts of joy. Then they said among the nations, The Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us. We are glad. Knowing that God loved me enough to send his one and only Son Jesus is the greatest sacrifice and demonstration of love in all of human history. How can I not be joyful? So I participate in December daily because I want to capture the joy, to capture the fun, and remember the excitement and anticipation. I want to remember the traditions and make new memories and to capture the moments before they're gone. And most of all, I want to remember the real reason for all of it. Joy is not in things, it is in us, and that deserves to be documented. Anyways, part of that came from some December dailies that I found online, and that quote at the end, joy is not in things, it is in us, and that deserves, it is in us, is a quote that I found on Google, and then I added, and that deserves to be documented. So I really love the way this turned out. I think it looks super cute on the vellum. I am going to leave the back side just blank, and it doesn't bother me. I'm going to stick it in my December daily, just like this. And I think it'll look really cute just popped right in here like this. Now, I already know what paper I want to put behind it because I wanted there to be a paper that would make it so it's still easily readable, and also that it would help it to stand out. So I grabbed this paper, which I believe came in the December Daily main kit from Allie Edwards, and I really like it behind there. So I'm going to just stick that paper into one of these page protectors. There we go. Seal it up and put that over top. You have to be a little gentle with it, and I love it. I think it looks super cute in there. I'm probably just going to leave this page blank, but it makes it so you can read it, and then you can just flip it. You have to be a little careful with it, but that's just because I don't want to rip it. But. Okay, so that's one of the vellum projects I wanted to show you today. That's my reason why page. So another fun thing that I wanted to add to my album was a to-do list or a bucket list. So I made up a bucket list and I printed it on the same sparkly vellum as my reason why page, if you can see that. Originally I had it as a to-do list and there was like little snowflake checklist over here, but I think the snowflake was like too light. I don't think you can even see that. That when I printed it off, you can hardly even see it. So I thought about stamping on there, but I'm not sure. I'm going to wait because I haven't decided what I want to do. But before I do that, I know that I want to have a pretty clean background behind it to make it pretty easy to read. So I think I'm just going to go with a white background like this.
Okay, so I'm super sorry, but I had to stop doing the voiceover just like as I was going because my dog Bernie decided that the rest of this video would be a wonderful time to bark extremely loudly. And I don't know who in my family thought it was a good idea to play with Bernie while I was trying to do this video, but I honestly couldn't do without a voiceover anymore. So I've switched to a voiceover and I sped it up a little bit because this video is getting really long. So hopefully you guys are okay with the rest of this video being a voiceover. So I decided that I wanted my to-do list or my bucket list for December to be on top of a white paper. But because because it was printed on vellum, you could see through, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be pretty if there was some kind of like really subtle pattern or design under there? And that's when my love for doilies kicked in, and I thought, oh, I could put some doilies under there. And sure enough, when I layered them underneath the vellum on top of this white paper, it looks so pretty. Like, it's just like this really subtle hint back there, and I just love the way that it looks. So I used 4 doilies of different sizes, adhered them down with some score tape, and then I'm just going to trim off the excess just around that. And if you don't know me well, I have to tell you something. I adore doilies. Like, they're one of my favorite embellishments. I just think they're so pretty and girly, and they just make me so happy. So be ready for my December daily videos to have many, many doilies in them. And I will not apologize for my love of these beautiful little pieces of artwork that are doilies. So, okay. After I had done that, I decided now I wanted to trim down the piece, because remember I printed it on 8.5 by 11, but it only actually needed to be 6 by 8, so I'm just trimming down the excess vellum on either side, or on all 4 of the sides, just to make it fit the 6 by 8 page. And once I've got that, I just realized I'm not good at math, so I had to do it a couple times to get it the right size. And then I layered it on top, and I just love the way that it looks. I think it looks so pretty just layered on top of all of those doilies. And now I wanted to just add a little bit of embellishing just to take it to the next level. And I had this cork December that I got from Freckled Fawn, and I thought I would maybe glue that to the top of this list, and that it would be cute, just as at the top of the list, just to say December. And I was trying to decide whether I wanted it to be like all the way over to the left, or whether I wanted it to be sort of in the center. So I decided to do it in the center, and I was just trying to use my grid mat to help me line it up. I think it's not exactly in the center, but you know, that's okay. It doesn't bother me. And I'm going to add other embellishments which I think will like help to off balance it. So I thought that it might be fun to use some of these wood veneer star snowflakes. Are they snowflakes or are they stars? I'm going to call them snowflakes on here, because I just love them. I love the wood veneer, and I think they look really cute on here. So I'm going to use 4 of them of different sizes, and some of them are going to be hanging off. Actually, all of them except for one will be like hanging slightly off, and I'm going to use my scissors to trim that. And again, I'm just using my hot glue gun to stick these down, just because I love my hot glue gun, and it's the best adhesive in the whole entire world. And it's super easy to use, it's cheap, it lasts long, and it sticks everything down. So basically what I'm doing is just picking where I want the snowflakes to go and then putting them down. And I'm really happy with the way that they end up looking on the layout. I think those snowflakes are so fun. I wish I had like 50 more of them, because I think I could use them throughout the whole entire album. But after this project, I'm only going to have 1 left, and it's sad because I want more of them. So if anybody doesn't want theirs and wants to send them to me, leave me a message, because I'll be happy to accept your unused, unloved star snowflakes. They will be very loved by me. I'm joking, by the way. So I'm just gonna finish gluing those down. I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to add 1 more. But I like the idea of 3 clusters. I like the odd number. So I'm going to stick 1 more down in that bottom left-hand corner. And I'm not putting glue all over the whole entire snowflake, just like half of it, because I know half of it is going to be hanging off. And they're actually quite easy to cut through, because they're not that thick, but I'm just using some big, huge scissors. Just to cut off that excess wood veneer there so that it doesn't take up too much space. And now I was thinking that it might be nice to just add a little bit of color to this layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of these Market Street brads from My Mind's Eye, which I just love. They're so precious. And I love brads. They're so much fun to play with, but I feel like they are like not as popular anymore. Anyways, so I'm going to use these brads. So I grabbed out a little foam mat, and I also grabbed out my pokey tool or my brad tool. I don't know what you call that tool, but I know it comes from We Are Memory Keepers. And I'm just going to poke a hole in the middle of each of these snowflakes and add a brad through them. And I'm just going to speed this up really quickly because it took me a while to get the holes in there and stick the little bunny ears. I don't know, is that what you call them? Like in elementary school, we used to call them bunny ears, through and then fasten them down. And then after that, it is done and ready to go. So I'm just trying to find a giant, well, not a giant, but like a full 6x8 page protector. And I'm going to put the white piece of paper with the doilies in it first. And then I'm going to put the piece of vellum in there as well. And this is actually going to move around later. Like, I did move around some of the pages in my album. But I'm going to put it there for now. And then if I decide to change my mind later, I will. I sort of am giving myself the freedom in this project to just, like, go with my gut. And if I want to move things around, if I want to take things out, if I want to get rid of things, I'm going to, because this is my project and I want to have fun doing it. So I want to encourage you, like, to just go with whatever feels right to you, and if you want to change your mind, you have the prerogative to do that. You can totally do that. So I thought it would be easier to stick it in the page protector if it was glued down to the backing sheet. So I just put a little dollop of glue behind a couple of those brads and stuck it down. And then I'm going to stick it in the album ready to go, just like that. And I love it. This is where I'm trying to decide whether I want to move it, and I decide to put it on the back of that sweater or the blanket piece of paper for my reason why, and I like it like that. Okay, on to my third and final vellum project. Just to give you one more idea, I know this video is getting really long, so I'm going to try to keep it not too long. I found this super cute image on Pinterest, and it says, "Some people are worth melting for," and it's one of my favorite quotes from Frozen, the movie, and I just think it's so precious. Some people are worth melting for. That's such a cute quote. And I wanted to include it, so I printed it on vellum, and I love the way it looks because it's like slightly see-through, and it just looks really pretty. So I decided that I wanted to add it into my album too, and I don't know exactly where I want to add it yet, but I wanted to get it all ready and put it in there so that when I do get to a page where I want to include it, it'll be ready to go. And I thought for this one, I would just put it right into the album without a page protector. So I just measured using one of the page protectors in the album to figure out where I need to go and how long it needs to be. Just take off a little extra. And then I'm going to punch holes right into this piece to make it the right size for the album. And I'm also going to use some page reinforcers just to help make sure it's nice and strong. So first I'm going to just tape this down to the page protector just to hold it in place so it doesn't slip all over the place. Then using the holes in the page protector, I'm going to punch it using my one-hole punch. And then I'm going to use some of these reinforcers. And if you're wondering, you can find reinforcers at your local, like, business supply store or Office Depot. I found them at Staples in Canada. And then I'm going to just put those down. And then I knew that I needed 6 for the front and 6 for the back. And I wanted to jazz them up just a little bit. So I had these blue stars, which I got from the dollar store. And so I stuck a blue star on each of the dots. And then I just repunched the hole so that there would be a cute little, like, star. Other than that, it's done, and I'm going to stick it in my album. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's December Daily related video. I hope I've given you a couple different ideas for inspiration, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I just wanted to remind you, check back tomorrow for another December Daily related inspiration video. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye!